Yesterday is not ours to recover, but tomorrow is ours to win or lose. We are not about to send American boys 9 or 10,000 miles away from home to do what Asian boys ought to be doing for themselves. There are no problems we cannot solve together, and very few that we can solve by ourselves. I will do my best. That is all I can do. I ask for your help, and God's. I have learned that only two things are necessary to keep one's wife happy. First, let her think she's having her own way. And second, let her have it. We did not choose to be the guardians of the gate, but there is no one else. If two men agree on everything, you may be sure that one of them is doing the thinking. The guns and the bombs, the rockets and the warships, are all symbols of human failure. Doing what's right isn't the problem. It is knowing what's right. A president's hardest task is not to do what is right, but to know what is right. No member of our generation who wasn't a communist or a dropout in the 30s is worth a damn. The CIA is made up of boys whose families sent them to Princeton but wouldn't let them into the family brokerage business. This administration here and now declares unconditional war on poverty. The last thing I wanted to do was to be a wartime president. The presidency has made every man who occupied it, no matter how small, bigger than he was, and no matter how big, not big enough for its demands. If the American people don't love me, their descendants will. I once told Nixon that the presidency is like being a jackass caught in a hailstorm. You've got to just stand there and take it. Greater love hath no man than to attend the Episcopal Church with his wife. A man can take a little bourbon without getting drunk, but if you hold his mouth open and pour in a quart, he's going to get sick on it. I believe the destiny of your generation and your nation is a rendezvous with excellence. When I was a boy, we didn't wake up with Vietnam and have Cyprus for lunch and the Congo for dinner. Peace is a journey of 1,000 miles, and it must be taken one step at a time. Jerry Ford is so dumb he can't fart and chew gum at the same time. If one morning I walked on top of the water across the Potomac River, the headline that afternoon would read, "President Can't Swim." I feel like I just grabbed a big juicy worm with the right sharp hook in the middle of it. We must open the doors of opportunity, but we must also equip our people to walk through those doors. When the burdens of the presidency seem unusually heavy, I always remind myself it could be worse. I could be a mayor. Being president is like being a jackass in a hailstorm. There's nothing to do but to stand there and take it. We have talked long enough in this country about equal rights. It is time now to write the next chapter, and to write it in the books of law. Poverty must not be a bar to learning, and learning must offer an escape from poverty. The fact that a man is a newspaper reporter is evidence of some flaw of character. This is not Johnson's war. This is America's war. If I drop dead tomorrow, this war will still be with you. I am a freeman, an American, a United States Senator, and a Democrat, in that order. I seldom think of politics more than 18 hours a day. Jack was out kissing babies while I was out passing bills. Someone had to tend the store. They call upon us to supply American boys to do the job that Asian boys should do. Just like the Alamo, somebody damn well needed to go to their aid. Well, by God, I'm going to Vietnam's aid. We live in a world that has narrowed into a neighborhood before it has broadened into a brotherhood. In our home there was always prayer. Aloud, proud and unapologetic. We have the opportunity to move not only toward the rich society and the powerful society, but upward to the great society. To conclude that women are unfitted to the task of our historic society seems to me the equivalent of closing male eyes to female facts. Whether we are New Dealer, Old Dealer, Liberty Leaguer or Red, whether we agree or not, we still have the right to think and speak how we feel. You might say that Lyndon Johnson is a cross between a Baptist preacher and a cowboy. I don't believe I'll ever get credit for anything I do in foreign affairs, no matter how successful it is, because I didn't go to Harvard. There are plenty of recommendations on how to get out of trouble cheaply and fast. Most of them come down to this: deny your responsibility. It may be, it just may be, that life as we know it with its humanity is more unique than many have thought. There are no favorites in my office. I treat them all with the same general and consideration. I'm tired. I'm tired of feeling rejected by the American people. I'm tired of waking up in the middle of the night worrying about the war. I believe we can continue the great society while we fight in Vietnam. Only two things are necessary to keep one's wife happy. One is to let her think she is having her own way, and the other is to let her have it. One lesson you better learn if you want to be in politics is that you never go out on a golf course and beat the president. When I was young, poverty was so common that we didn't know it had a name. Whoever won't fight when the president calls him, deserves to be kicked back in his hole and kept there. I want to make a policy statement. I am unabashedly in favor of women. You've got to work things out in the cloakroom, and when you've got them worked out, you can debate a little before you vote.